Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel and another edition of our Caro-Kann speedrun, where we will be taking the account from the 1500 level up to the 1600 level, and I will be playing 5-minute, 0-second increment games from the black side. As always, I want these to be educational, so make sure you're prepared to pause the video when you see and hear the tactics recognition buzzer. If you have time, stick around for the post-game analysis, where we can really slow down, break down the position, and discuss a little bit more without time constraints. And as always, if you like this video, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, hitting the bell notification, all that good stuff, and let's get it.
And here we go.
And here we go with game one. And we are playing someone that goes by the alphabet, and they are from the Isle of Man. I need to go there. I'm a man. I'll book a reservation for that. The Briar variation. Okay. Yeah. Let's attack with tempo. Are you going to play F3? Ooh. Okay. That's a bit weird. But I don't think I want to drop the bishop back. I'm going to put the bishop back on D7 now that we've provoked a weakness. I don't want to put it back on E6 because I want to play E5 here. Try to grab some space in the center and try to get on this diagonal, assuming they castle short, which who knows at this point. It's a very weird opening. I kind of want to play this move. I guess I can just block with the bishop. Okay, let's just get castled, I guess. Looks like they want to castle long, maybe? That move makes me want to play this. To, number one, prevent them from castling, but also to potentially get in here. I'm going to try this. Well, I guess I could just go knight c4. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of want to wait to see what they do. Maybe have them show us their cards. I'm going to play b5 just to kind of get a head start at the okay, so now they're not castling long. Okay, so now we're going to castle short. That's what I was waiting for. And they're not going to castle at all. Okay, well, their king is wide open. That makes me want to play g6 because if they play this, I play knight h5. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Please play that. I want you to play that. Okay. That hits a couple of pawns. Mm-hmm. I'm actually thinking h5 here. I think I will play that. If they push, then yeah. Yeah, that was a threat. Okay, I'm going to swing the queen back to d8. I might force them to play that. Ooh, you're going to give us that pawn for free. Okay, so they want to push and take, right? So takes, blocks, takes, takes. We are in a pin. Yeah, this is interesting here. All right, so let's take right, take. Yeah, now I'm thinking queen here. Knight, we just snap that off. I like queen g5 here. This is protected. We just want to get this move in, or even this. Uh, I'm not too worried about that move. Okay, let's go king up. Okay, let's get the bishop out of the way. Put the knight here. They probably want to go. Okay, let's get the knight over to f6. Okay, we'll take that. Mm-hmm. And just double on the d file, I think. If they push that, then just takes, wins a central pawn. Mm-hmm. 13 seconds. Don't move that knight. Oh no. Okay, that's not mate. I thought it was mate. Here and here. Nice game. Very nice game. They played great. They had a lot of pressure. Uh, a lot of pressure. All right, let's see how we did. All right, 86%. So no blunders or misses. We had 4 mistakes. That's a lot, and only a couple inaccuracies. It's always humorous to me when I make more mistakes than accuracies. So, all right, let's see the damage. Tough game there. Tough game because I don't see this Briar variation very much above the 2000 level. So I will say that I don't have a near as much experience in these lines as some of the other main lines. In fact, I didn't even cover this in the master class because you just don't see it. I don't think you see it enough. And yeah, computer wants to go for the quick E5 there again. I think I played it on the next move. Okay, yeah, here. Wanted it a little bit earlier. Accuracy took a little bit of a hit there. That was best. That's good. Passing's best. That was our first mistake. Okay, so it doesn't like that. It wants to go A5. I'm guessing. Okay, so A5, A4 if they push. Yeah, but they got a lot of pieces on C4, so I don't know that severely weakens C4 that much. Okay. I mean, I played this move with the idea if they go there, then we go here. And yeah, this is great. This you can see here the engine says this is loss minus 1.8. Yeah, they don't. It's not going to be easy for them to get pressure here, and we've got some nice, that blocks the H pawn. That's kind of what I was assuming, but give credit to my opponent because they didn't play that. They never played that. Okay, Queen A5 was best. Okay, that was an inaccuracy. Doesn't like that too much. Wants to get on the D file with the rook here. Okay. Yeah, now I thought this was great. Yeah, now black's back in the driver's seat. The whole time I'm thinking I want a knight on H5. Now, if their bishop was sitting here on E2, then I wouldn't like it as much, right? Because then they're threatening to take it and we're wide open on the G file. But yeah, and that was another mistake. I just wanted to line up, and I wasn't confident that taking that pawn was good. So let's see what the engine says, because I think we took it on the next move. Oh, okay. So that is the best move. I thought it was a little bit risky, with this pressure bearing down on the H and G files, but engine said this is lost minus 1.5. And that was our third mistake. Taking there was no good. Wow, that's a pawn and a half difference. Just wants to go here and just get the queens off. Yeah, makes sense because they can't take the bishop with either piece because their queen's hanging. If they take, we take, and that does look very strong. Because in the bishop here, they can't easily push that. Okay, yeah. Makes some sense. And now we go there and computer hates it. Yeah, I didn't really understand that move because, I mean, look at this. I mean, minus, well, I guess it's still lost, minus 1.4. And I was loving this. Yeah, this is minus 2. I don't think white has anything here. Okay, king up was best move. That was fine. Best. And that off was okay. That's fine. Best. Good. Good. That was an inaccuracy. Still minus 2 for black. And I guess that was our last mistake. But here I'm only down to 16 seconds. So just trying to. I knew black had a better position here, but just trying to trade some pieces. And of course, and this is exactly what I was talking about, guys. I think I was talking about this in game number 10 of the last video. So the 1300 to 1400 video, if you didn't watch all 11 or 12 of those games, go back and watch the very last one because I talk about this exact same thing. Look at their clock. They have 2 minutes and 40 seconds. We only have 16 seconds. And so I'll repeat it again in case you didn't hear it from game 10 in the last video. But when your opponent is really low on the clock and you have a lot more, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as much time as they do, when they get down to 30 seconds or less than that, too many people have the wrong mentality that I'm gonna make moves really, really quick so that they don't have time to think. Right? And so the idea is I don't want them to think on my clock. Well, okay, that logically that makes some sense, but not at the expense of you blundering. I mean, if I'm white here and I'm noticing that my opponent's down to 16 seconds, I'm going to take my hands off the mouse. And I'm really going to bear down and say, I'm going to make the most annoying moves that I can. I'm going to keep all the pieces on the board, right? We say when you're winning, you want to trade, trade, trade. And when you're losing, you don't want to trade. Well, when your opponent doesn't have much time, you don't want to trade either, right? Complicate the position, keep as many pieces on the board as you can, keep it muddy, keep them guessing, keep hopping around, and don't trade anything. And what did white do here? So I made this move. They were at 2 minutes and 41 seconds. They took 3 seconds for that move. 3 seconds to blunder, right? I think this is a teaching moment for everybody, right? Just think for a minute, right? Don't worry about it. It's much better to give your opponent a few more seconds to think and make sure you don't make a mistake or at least just play an average move than to move quickly and blunder because that changed the whole game. Yeah, 14 seconds here and now this is pretty easy. I mean, I can easily pre-move a lot of moves. I thought this was mate for just a second. Okay, that was best. 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 Wow. Okay. So, I will say that right there is not necessarily one of my biggest strengths to be able to make, 4, 5, 6 perfect moves to get a quick checkmate when I don't have, chickmate. Y'all let me know what a chickmate is. Getting a checkmate like that with very few seconds and time on the clock, but we'll take it. Good start. Let's go. Game number 2, we were playing SNO 94. Good luck. Another exchange. Pin and win. No pawn on C3. E6. Okay, now we can play Queen C7. Okay. Take. I don't want anything coming to B5. Oh, here we go again. Let's give them a chance. Take it, please. Take it, take it. You know you want to. They don't want to. Okay, we'll give you another chance to take it. Yes. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. They can't move the knight. Slide our king over, and it's time to go to work on the G file. They come here. Okay, let's slow down a little bit. Actually, whoa, I just noticed I accidentally clicked on 3 minute. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay. Whoops. I'm glad I caught that. I looked down, I was like, we're already down to 2 minutes. What the heck happened? Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's not gonna work. That is just flat out not going to work. Oh, this looks bad, man. This looks bad. Probably the best move there. All right, we're coming. We are coming. Yeah, there's no way out of this. This is just too much. Too much. Too much. I'm actually not sure I want to take that. I'm actually thinking, okay, I'm gonna play a funny move. I think you got to play that. Oh man.
Look at this dude.
Okay, anything stronger? Let's see it. Okay, let's see. Let's give a check. Might actually sacrifice here. Give another check. What is that move? That's gonna hurt. That's pinned. That doesn't help. This is coming. Right. Remove this. Get in here for, okay, take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. And set up for a mate. Mate. Okay, we're there. All right, good game, SN094. Sorry about the 3-minute thing. I'll fix that for the next game. All right, let's see how we did. 89% with a brilliancy. All right, all right, all right. One miss, one mistake, one inaccuracy. Okay, stuff we've all seen before. Yeah, taking the bishop there was best. Does like a6. Yeah, I don't like this knight coming here when my queen's on c7. I don't like it. So that's a blunder. Did we miss? Did I miss that? I probably did. That's probably our miss. But I was so, yeah, I got a little bit too caught up with trying to provoke them to take this by going here. I mean, it does hit h2, I suppose. Yeah, of course, that's a miss. Okay. Yeah, I'm pushing F5 in these open, semi-open G-file lines almost every single time. I thought about that move, but I didn't. Honestly can't remember why I discounted that move. I mean, go back to D1, I guess. Oh, how in the world is that not the best move? I thought surely we're crashing through here. I was even looking at, if the queen weren't here on the second rank, I was looking at sack, take, take, and some kind of mate on G2. But with the queen here, even going back to D1, the queen's defending laterally. That's why I brought in the second rook. But I was hoping for a little triple sack. I guess technically that'd be a double sack. But yeah, a good move to kind of clog things up around in front of the king. Yeah. Yep, there's our brilliancy. Yeah, it's not much of a brilliancy. I mean, that move is screaming to be played, so not too terribly of an impressive, brilliant move. Okay, did I miss something stronger here? Didn't want to go ahead and take there, but I just thought, what's the difference? God, that's a difference of 1.2 pawns? Really? We're threatening winning the queen. How is that so bad? Yeah, they can play this, and then we can take that. I don't understand why that's such a horrible move. But we got the queen anyway. Yeah, that was interesting. I was very confused there because my opponent, they had a minute 29 and they took some time there. It took 16 seconds and never saw this. I mean, it's not like we have a forced mate or anything. I mean, going through the checklist, we've got all this firepower over here breathing down their neck. Their king is in the open. Why in the world would we play this move, put the knight on the edge of the board? Why would we do that? You know, ask the question. The only reason we're doing that is to take the D4 pawn. Okay, so all right. Did we miss a forced mate here? Like that was the best move. That was good. Best, 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 best. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess that was a slightly wrong move order. We could have just gone here first and then mate. Yeah, that was a little bit more forcing, of course. But I just saw this. I mean, they gonna run out of checks and we're gonna play that mate anyway. And also, very, very important. I didn't say this during the game, but very important that I calculated that they can't force a draw because they did have a couple of king moves, or they had a couple of moves, a king move and a pawn move. So I wasn't afraid about them with the little trick following our king around, forcing us to take their rook, and then it's a stalemate kind of thing. So I was looking at that. Okay, good game. SN094. Moving on. Game number 3. We're playing Magnus. Oh boy. Buckle down. We are playing the best ever. I'm nervous. Nervous. Come on, Mark. You can do this. Advanced variation. You can do this. Pin. Needs some support, guys. You got to cheer me on. Okay, Magnus usually likes to checkmate people, so let's go C5. And then okay, E6, D4, knight. Okay, let's take, and then knight C6. Okay, queen B6 to hit B2, put some pressure on D4. Should have played bishop B4. Ah, they play that B3 move. Magnus should know better. He knows not to do that because now we have bishop B4 check. Yeah, this looks bad, bad, bad. Okay, let's take here. Can't take with the knight now. And now we can take here, right? Yes. We got Magnus on the run, guys. Ooh, this looks good. We're hitting the rook. We're hitting the knight. We're hitting E5. Oh boy, Magnus is feeling it. Oh no. Oh no. I think he messed up. Because now he has to go here or here. Right. I think we can just go here. This is going to be a feather in my cap, boys. I don't think I'd ever have a chance to play him. I'm nervous. Okay. Magnus blundered.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Let's make a precise move here. It's got to be. I don't have any checks. It's got to be this move right here. Let's get the queens off. Let's hit E5. Let's hit the rook. We can do this, boys. I didn't know Magnus was from Honduras. I thought he was from Norway. I guess he changed countries a few hours ago. I don't see how you stop trading queens or us taking the rook. If you take the queen, you're going to lose the pawn or the rook. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. This I don't think is a problem. Let's just go ahead and take E5. They can't get to C7. We're going to do it, boys. Okay. Let's go. Let's go knight here. King moves. This is greedy, picking up another pawn, giving up C7s. I don't want to do that. They don't have a tactic here because our Magnus doesn't have it, because if you sack, we can take with the knight, and we're stopping Magnus from getting into the C7 square. Magnus.
Bruh.
Magnus.
Look at this dude.
I mean, I know Magnus is coming out of his prime, maybe, but we did it, boys. We just took down Magnus Oh, that's not Magnus Carlsen. That's just Magnus Charlie O. Never mind. All right, let's see how we did. 88%. We had an inaccuracy and a blunder. We blundered against Magnus. All right, let's see what that was. So we had a normal opening. All this is correct. Oh my gosh. Let's go back. Oh man. Oh man. Magnus tricked me with the C3. He got me. He got me. Yeah. I should have. Engine wants to take the knight, of course, which is good, but I at least should have played knight C6 first. Oh man. That's a 0 versus 0. Ouch. And Magnus was so generous, he didn't even take it. Yeah. Man. We all do it. We all do it. So we got away with one there. It's time to. I'm hoping you guys are laughing at me. I laugh when my opponents do it, so we gotta laugh when I do it. Yeah. Ooh, knight h6. No, I'm not thinking that there. Taking was correct. Why does it keep wanting to go knight h6? We're threatening to take this. If they just make a random move, we're threatening to take this with check. The knight can't take. Queen has to take. Then maybe take with check. Bishop has to take back. This is really weak. I'm not ever thinking knight h6 there. And yeah, now we're just in great shape. Yeah. Take the knight, and they can't take with either of these pieces. You can't take with the king, and if you take with the queen, you drop the rook. That was the best move, of course. That's basically the only move that I see. Is there anything else? To me, that should have been that blue single exclamation mark great where there's only one move and you found it. Is there something else we could have done there? Rook C8? Oh, nice. Oh, that's a nice one. We sack the bishop and take here because if they go to the back rank, we take the rook. And if you block with the queen, we give a check. Or actually, even better is I was thinking give a check with the rook. It actually even stronger as this. Yeah, because again, they got to go back to the back rank. If they block with the queen, you just play this. Okay, yeah. That's why we didn't get the single blue great exclamation mark. Okay, let's go back to this. Taking e5 was good. Yeah, I don't know what they saw there. That's literally just said you can't do that because we've got that defended twice. There is no tactic with the pin. Yeah, that's it. All right. Good game, Magnus Charlio from Honduras. Next. All right. Next up, we have Edgar with another exchange. Okay. E6, I think. What does the bishop want to do? Knight f6. Think queen b6. Let's hit b2. Okay. All right, I'm going to remove one of the knights just so maybe our knight might want to jump into e4, but I think c5 is the move here. Mm-hmm. They play b4, that's really weakening. Mm-hmm. Now I'm thinking knight e4. Maybe, or just castle. Yeah, maybe just castle. Maybe rook f to c8 so that they can't play that move. I don't like that, getting the rook lined up with the queen. They play b4, we can just take that. Okay, let's jump the knight into e4. They play either one of these moves. Whoa. Huh? What is that? What is that move? We just play f6 and e5? They wanted to bring the knight in here, so we play f6 to box them out. They don't have the light squared bishop, so we're not worried about this diagonal. Now I think we just play e5. Or even queen c6 to try to trade queens. But I think, yeah, I really like the look of e5. Bishop f8. Let's guard the g7 square. That puts pressure on c3. Okay, let's trade queens. They're about to blunder. I know they are. Yep. Pause the video. Boom. Bishop takes b4. Pieces lined up on the same straight line. Yeah, they can try to counter sack, but I don't think it does anything. I mean, you can just take this and move the queen somewhere. Maybe just move it back to c7 looks good. We don't have any checks. And we're just up a full rook. Okay. All of their stuff is on dart squares, and we have the dart squared bishop. Pinning that looks good. If they take our bishop, we take their knight. Also, just hitting the queen looks good. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with, or could hit the knight. I could hit the knight. Let's hit the queen because I like the bishop on f2. So, like if they play queen here or something, well, they can't do that. That drops the knight. So now I don't see any tactics. I don't have any checks except one. Now I think maybe pin the knight. And if you go here, Okay, that's fine. Yeah, they can't play that. Okay. Oh, can't play that either. But we can play. Tactics recognition. Condition number 4. This is gonna hurt. What should I play? I'll just play this. Good game, Edgar Mendiveslow from Colombia. I think I might be the world's worst at pronouncing names, but I'll give it a shot. Let's see how we did.
You serious?
Totally serious. 2 inaccuracies. Not 93.1, not 92.9, 92.8. Sounds like a radio station. Good game. Let's check it out here. All book stuff. Yeah, remember I've talked about this. I'm never playing Queen A5 there. I don't care what the computer says. E6 is best. Yeah, I like to ask the question, what does the bishop want to do? Okay, should have played. That was one of our inaccuracies. Should have played bishop d6 first. Okay. It was okay. Again, a reason I did that is because I thought at some point our knight might want to jump into e4, and obviously we can't do that if both knights are there. So yeah, c5 is good. And it's best. Okay, get to the c file is best. Yeah, now and then we jump the knight into e4, and I'm loving this knight here because I mean they could back the knight up and probably. Actually, they couldn't do that because we have a million pieces on f2. But anyway, if they move the knight and play f3, then obviously they can't do that here. But even in the long run, you know, if you've got pawns on these 3 light squares and we have the dark square bishop, that is not a good recipe for success. Like the energy, it just doesn't work. I mean, obviously they want to bring the knight here with some threats, or maybe queen here with a threat on g2, but I think f6 has got to be the best move. Yeah. f6 just shuts everything down. Okay, and wanted us to go ahead and take the b pawn. Yeah, that was our other inaccuracy. Yeah. Pawn is pinned. Okay, so yeah, I thought here for a minute. I wasn't sure about pinning the knight. I wasn't sure about going here. Okay, so that was the best move to hit the queen. Yeah, I like this idea of having the bishop on f2. That was the best move. That was fine. That's fine. Yeah, back rank weakness. All right, next. All right, next up we have a crunchy taco, and I am a big fan of tacos, especially if they play the fantasy variation. Oh, man. Then they had to play that move? No, they do not. So here we go, knight to d7. So we're hitting both of these guys. Oh, they just give it to us. Okay. All right. So I think knight e7 is in order to potentially get to g6. Here I'm actually considering taking back with the knight. I think I'll do that because this knight goes to g6. We're hitting this twice. If you play that, we play this. You got to play that move and you're very passive. Or you can just give us the pawn. Which one is correct? Let's go with this one. You want to trade? Absolutely will trade. This is too greedy because of this, hitting this. So although it wins another pawn, I don't think it's worth it. So I think we just castle here. It's not worth it. We're already up a pawn. Okay, here I think I'm going to play b5 just to get a lockdown on these pawn pushes. Yeah. Which escape square? Which one? Which one? We don't have bishops, so a lot of times they'll want to push this f pawn down. So I think I'll play. Not sure. Okay, let's play a5. We might want to go for a little minority attack here. Yeah, I like that. I like this very much. And now that pawn is pinned. Ooh, that does not look right. Okay, so now my thought process is queen c4, and if they push the pawn, queen c3. If they take, we take rook here, and then we just start pushing our pawns to hold down this pawn chain on the dark squares. That's my initial reaction. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, we could just go queen c6, and that will probably prompt them to play that, and then we go here. I guess there's not a whole lot of difference. I'll go c4 anyway, just because that puts pressure on the rook, just in case they move the queen somewhere. Yes. Are we going to get this? Are we going to get this line? The same, literally. Now that is funny. That is funny. And White's just lost. Absolutely lost, because these guys are shooting fish in a barrel. And we have 21 protected pass pawns. Okay, let's go. I actually, could just bring the king up, right? King activity in the end game, but if you get the king here, rook here, they're threatening that stuff. I mean, that looks very strong. Yeah, I think that this has got to be just winning. I don't want to put this rook here because then they go here and I don't have to bring it back. So I'm going to put this rook on the b file. So if they go here, I can protect with this rook. Okay, that's a free pawn. Yeah. And now, yeah, rooks belong behind pawns. Actually, check, king here. That trades rooks, right? That looks super strong. Okay, it's check, here, here, takes, rook there. Okay, maybe that's not so hot. Okay, let's just try to get, yeah. And now I was thinking push here. Or just push here. Either one of these I think is fine. Yeah, it just push here. I don't really think it matters because we have the king cut off. So I think either one of these are fine. And remember what I said? I think there was a game in the last video. If you get two pawns adjacent side by side on the 6th rank for white or the 3rd rank for black, then a single rook can't stop it. So, but we aren't able to get our rooks side by side. So we may need to, I guess we can just corral this pawn. It's fine. That's good enough. And then we're going to come here and cut that king off. Cut the king off. And bring the king in. Lock everything down. And now you're basically in Zugzwang. Yep. Let's, okay, push up. King up. King here. Yep. You can take that. Push. And that's it. All right, good game. Crunchy Taco from Canada. Yeah, we're a little bit too fast there, bud. Just a smidge too fast. They played well. Good game. It's so funny to me that I drew those arrows showing that, we can get this, and it happened exactly that way. They're asking me, still can't figure out how to checkmate with a rook.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
They're making fun of me because they think I don't know how to checkmate with a rook. So, therefore, if they're going to be disrespectful like that, then we're going to have to toy with them a little bit. We're going to have to toy with them. Just a touch.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're going to have to toy just a little bit. Yeah, they're asking, still can't figure out how to checkmate with a rook? What a silly comment. I'm having the time of my life.
Now I had the time of my life.
Exactly. Oh man, I do not encourage people to chat with others. I'm not typing back. It just says, that little button, click to accept the chat. And yeah. I try to be very respectful and kind to everybody that I come into contact with online, but you got players every now and then that'll try to say something smart aleck or whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. It just makes them look worse. Why not just resign and go on to the next game and say good game? But I am going to sit here and let this run all the way down. Yeah. Oh, man. Every pre-move is a 1/10 of a second. We got 13 more moves. Oh, man.
Don't come around here no more.
Oh, man. Sorry. 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 That was mean. Sorry.
Hey, I'm sorry for saying sorry so much. Wait, I just did it again. Sorry.
No telling what the accuracy is here. I mean, it's probably horrible because of all those. You know what? I'm not even going to look at the accuracy. Not even going to look at it.
Psych!
What in the heck is this? Not a single inaccuracy, mistake, miss, or blunder after all those terrible moves at the end? That's ridiculous. It didn't consider any. It didn't consider any of those moves inaccurate. That is crazy to me. Wow, we haven't had a 0-0-0-0 game in a while. So if I if I hadn't screwed around there at the end, that would have been really high accuracy. Okay, back down to business. I love life. Okay, so C5 push, E6. Yep, that's correct move. We haven't seen this. I'm trying to think. I don't think we've seen them take on C5. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. I don't remember seeing one of these variations. Maybe once. We definitely haven't seen this move, which is kind of your advanced move. If you see somebody play A3 after you play E6, buckle up. They know what they're doing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that was the best move. That's best. Now, oh, taking backwards with the knight was best. Yeah, because we're just putting pressure on E5. Okay, that was just an okay move. That's good. What? Doesn't want to take the free pawn? Are you kidding me? Wants a castle? Okay. Yeah. Now, white's just lost. Once again, we haven't seen it in a while, but once again, we have 2 central pawns, and white has 4 - 4 central pawns. Yep, that's best. B5 is okay. A5 is good. Yeah. Just play some okay moves. So maybe that's why the percentage wasn't as high, because I have played some okay moves here. Yeah, and then that's best. This was so hilarious to me because right here, I was thinking at this spot, I was like, in this spot, I was like, okay, if I go here, they go here, I go here, they take, I take, they go here, go here, go here, go here, and get this pawn chain. That's exactly what happened. It's just funny to me. All this best moves. How about that, boys and girls? Connect 5. How often do you see Connect 5? That's pretty cool. Yeah, putting that rook on the B file, attacking here. Again, I didn't want to put this one here because our king wasn't there in time to support E5. Yeah, I wasn't sure about this one. I was kind of torn between, I was like, I don't know, is it even worth corralling this pawn? It's like I didn't feel like we needed to do that. Yeah, and then who cares about this? We've got 2 connected passed pawns. The rook's not going to be able, it's going to be fairly helpless. Yeah. King activity, bring the king up. Yep. And that's it. Okay, I've got to see this, guys. That is crazy to me that I'm just messing around moving the king and it's just saying that's an excellent move. Excellent move. How about that? Look at this, guys. I played a genius move. I put the king in the corner. Excellent. That's a joke. That is a joke. That is a joke, Mr. Engine. They should all be inaccuracies. Yeah. Yeah. Playing with fire, living on the edge. Got to have some fun with chess. All right, moving on. All right, so next up we have a soccer player. That's cool. Soccer was the very first sport that I played. Then I went to baseball. Then I went to basketball. Then I played high school tennis. Sports was my life until I started having all those surgeries. So, pen or C5? I think C5 is correct. Okay, now we. Nope. I almost made that same mistake when I played Magnus Carlsen a little earlier. Got to play knight C6 here. They're trying to trick me. Okay, so now let's take and then let's pin. Okay, so now we're back to. Oh man, that's why I have that T-shirt that says I don't lose, I either win or learn. Okay, let's get the knight to f5. Queen b6, hitting everything. Probably need to go back to e3. That drops b2. I'm not sure what you do here. b3, then takes. Yep. And then we're threatening to either double their pawns or trap the rook on c2. I guess they can go back to d1. That's what they need to do. Yeah. I don't understand that move. That's just a free pawn there, right? Threatening to take that, get the queens off. Okay, yeah, just check, right? Check. Let's trade queens. They could take with a queen, I guess. If they take with a queen, probably just drop it back to f6. We are very, very weak on the diagonal, but they don't have the light square bishop, and the queen is not able to get to this one. Okay, well, now we're golden. Okay, so now I'm thinking, what am I thinking? Either knight f5 or knight c6 to liberate the bishop. Also getting control. The c file looks good, but I don't like the knight coming here hitting f7. So like rook here, here. Not so great. Maybe just knight c6. But then maybe, no, they can't play that. Fianchetto, they have that, which I don't like. Okay, let's go knight c6. So they can't play that, and they can't infiltrate on the c file. At least not immediately. So now I'm thinking Fianchetto's okay. Bishop d6, I think is fine. Bishop e7, I think is fine. I kind of like bishop d6 so that if something like this happens, we can take and they can't infiltrate. Yeah, I'm not understanding that one. What's that do? Nothing. Don't you just have to go right back where you were? You do. You sure do. And once again, we have 2 pawns in the center. They have -0 pawns in the center. Where's that going? Don't know what that does. Okay, let's. Oh, can't. Okay, they got the dark square bishop. Let's put everything on light squares. For the time being. And then rook to the c file. Rook to the c file. Okay, so I think that's a bit of a mistake because we can go knight b4 and hit that. Yeah, that's getting trapped. You don't have time to double. Yeah. Now we can double, I think. I'm going to go to a light square. They push this. Yeah, if they push that, I was just thinking we just go here and then double with the other rook. Actually, if they go here, we can just take that with check. Bishop looks fairly trapped. Ooh. Now we can take on h2 because you don't have that. Anything better? I don't think so. Yep. I believe that is it. Now they can play that and trap it. So let's put it on a centralized square. Maybe just drop it back. Now the knight's dominated because we've got control of the dark squares. Just want to go up and trade rooks. Rook c3 was probably a little bit more accurate just to hit both of these pawns. Yeah, but now we'll get one of the rooks there. If they go rook here, then I think we can take, play rook c3 again anyway. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, they do have that move. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's make some more escape squares. Okay. Now you have to trade rooks. Okay, let's hit the knight. And push. We got passed pawns everywhere. Ooh, okay. Good game, soccer player. All right, let's see how we did. Okay, 91%. We take those, only 2 inaccuracies. Very nice game by my opponent. I thought they played well. Yes, we could have pinned first. I almost played this move. I almost played that. That's so funny. And then whoops. Oh, we can bring the bishop back. Oh, that's right. Oh, because last time. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, that's right. Last time I think we had e6 played. And so we couldn't bring the bishop back. But this time we were okay. We could have done that. Okay. Oh, this is good. Yeah. Just losing a central pawn. Wanted to take with the queen. Yeah. Hit the bishop. Makes some sense. I was just trying to get rid of their bishop pair. Yeah, all these are best moves. That's best. That's best. That's best. That's good. That's good. Best. Good. Best. Yeah. It was a solid game. Yeah, right after I played, I was like, oh, rook c3 probably a little bit better. But it's all winning from here. Yeah. I'm very happy with that game, and I think White should be happy with that game. That was well played from both sides. Okay, moving forward. All right, game number 7. We have an opening that we have never, ever seen before. Oh, okay, so that's interesting that it didn't go straight to f4. And they don't have control over e5, so we will drop it back. Normal stuff. Oh, are we going to get it? Take it, please. Oh, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Let's try to force the issue. Yes. Yes, sir. Yep, so we always play this f5 move. Don't play that. Don't do it. G4 would be an interesting move. I think I'd probably take it because I don't think taking h7 really does anything for white. Okay, definitely not expecting that move. That just allows weakness to the last move. That just allows this. And now we can get rid of this dangerous light squared bishop. Mm-hmm. Should we take time to take the pawn? Hmm. Don't want them to take. Okay, so I think I will take on c4. If they take with the queen, then yeah, we'll trade because we'll get to double their pawns. Yeah, I don't think that was a good choice for white. Check in there. So they probably want to go here. Might just take that. Also, maybe provoke it. Yeah, I like provoking it. Go ahead and jump in here, and we'll snap that off because, yeah, and now white should be lost because of all these weak pawns. So let's infiltrate. I think on the second rank, we're hitting 2 pawns. Yeah, I was about to say they probably need to care more about F2s. We pick up F2, then that falls, and then maybe that falls. Now they're kind of stuck. They can't really move either rook. You move that rook, you drop the A2 pawn. You move that rook, you drop the F2 pawn. So I think we probably just need to double on the second rank. We don't have any entry points. That actually was, I think, was a decent move. Of course, we could just drop back here and pick up the F4 pawn. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay, let's go for it. Oh, no, don't think you want to trade there. Yeah, let's just pick this up. If you play B1, we'll just push B6. Yeah. Okay, so they want to come here. So I'm thinking rook B4, rook here, then king up, and we're protecting both pawns. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll go down to B5, and if they push F4, then that's going to drop. Yeah, it drops A2, and now we've got a runaway A pawn. That should be just fine. Good game. Zand 86 from Brazil. Where is the king going? They're trying to stalemate themselves. um, okay. Yeah. I mean, probably, maybe it's just worth it just to pick up the F4 pawn. Yeah. That should be good enough. Probably just blocking is fine. Yeah. We can sacrifice a pawn there. Push. And that'll do it. Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Mm, yeah. We're faster. So we can give it a check. We can give it a check. Bring the king in. And make sure they don't, make sure they have a square to go to, but we play king to F7. And they do have one move. They actually have two moves. Yeah. Okay. Good game. Let's see how we did. All right. 91%. We had a mistake and 5 inaccuracies. We've seen all this before. Okay, so it didn't like the this queen C7 move. What was the difference there? Several tenths. They don't have control over E5, so we can drop the bishop back. Yep. 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 Trying to get them. Okay, so it doesn't like, well, okay. I'm not worried about that inaccuracy because from a human practical point of view, that really feels like they need to take on F6. So computer doesn't like it, but computer doesn't think like a human. So yeah, and you can see, guys, that's a huge mistake. It looks so juicy to double the pawns, but when you play F5 and you you block out that light squared bishop, get that open G file with 2 bishops. Ooh, that's a problem. Okay, so it doesn't like that. It actually wants to give up the H7 pawn. That's funny. Wants us to play this. We give this up, and then what are we supposed to do? Yeah, once just rook G7. Yeah, we just gain a tempo. Bishop moves back, and then we double. And they can never push this. We're sacking all day long. So like here, they push this, just take, and that's gonna be mate, whatever they do. But even before we got the rook to the G file, like even here, if they play it, I'm still looking at sacrificing. Check, and then wherever they go, if they go here, then we just give a check. If they go here, we probably can just play. Yeah, we don't need to take this pawn. Just rook G8. That's -5. So yeah, does not like white taking that knight on F6. Okay, so that was the third inaccuracy. And then here, okay, it says the fork is okay. Yeah, snapping off the light square bishop is good. Okay, I wasn't sure about this move, so I'm glad taking that was correct. And I think, really? Dude, that's crazy right there. Like, what human would not want to take the queen, they take, and double their pawns? Well, who would not want to do that? Like, who who in the world is playing rook c8 here? To me, that's a joke. I'll never play rook c8 there. Yeah, I mean, this is just okay. So that's all 5 of our inaccuracies right there. Yeah, snapping that off, and they just got a whole bunch of double pawns. From a practical point of view, this is super, super easy. That was a mistake. Really? That was our one mistake, going after a free pawn. Yeah. That's just good old-fashioned nonsense. Yeah, I think this was the right decision. Yeah, look at that. That was the right decision to give this up and just go after these pawns, and it's just too much. Too much to do with. Yeah, no problem sacrificing the pawn. We're just one free pawn. It's really hard to lose this. The main factor here is just don't stalemate. Yeah, here they could have either pushed the pawn or king h7, and either way, queen g8 or queen g7 is mate. All right, let's go on to game number 8. All right, game number 8. What are they going to give us? Classical, fantasy, something. Hey, we got the classical. And I just realized that I'm playing somebody that's way smarter than me. That's kind of scary. Alien Gambit, Mainline, or Tartakower? Yes, the Tartakower. Yes, finally. Hopefully we see it. Now that's kind of a weird move. Usually they put it on D3. Okay, so we're going to castle. Get our rook to the E file. Knight on F8. There's no mate. Let's hop this guy over here. They've already had that H3 move played. This is looking good. I really hope I can show you guys total destruction in this line. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a mental snapshot of this. So knight on F8. There's no mate. We got both of our bishops on the 6th rank. We have our queen on D7 and our 2 rooks. Rook on the E file. This rook a lot of times doesn't even move. Okay, so that's a bit of a weird move. Okay, so remember when they have this H3 move, there are 2 conditions that we need to think about. Number 1, if we sacrifice the bishop on H3, number 1, can their light squared bishop get to the F1 square in one move? If the answer to that is no, you've got the green light to sacrifice. The other condition is if you sacrifice and the knight on F3 remains unprotected, you've got the green light. If either of those are true, if both are true, that's great. Either one is fine. In this case, the bishop cannot get to F1. That's all we need. We can go ahead and sacrifice. Although here, I think maybe we should take first and then do the sacrifice. Yeah. Okay. Oh man. Oh man. I think they're about to regret their username. Oh my goodness. Ooh. All right, I did talk about this guys in the masterclass. So pause the video. What would you play here? So one of the things I've talked about is pay attention after this sacrifice. Does white have a piece on this light square diagonal? Really, we're talking about these three squares, C2, D3, and E4. If they don't have a piece on this diagonal, then we play the move Rook E4. And please tell me what you're doing about that move. If you move the knight, ouch. You cannot stop that move. You cannot stop it without moving the knight. So I think we have to give a little to our opponent's username. So here we play Rook G4.
Psych!
Oh, I got to play this. Oh, oh, that hurts. Sorry, I don't care what anybody thinks. I am going to make fun of somebody whose username is I'm smarter than you. And they got checkmated in 9 moves.
You serious?
Actually, it was more like 17, but whatever. All right, let's see how we did. Uh-huh. That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Hey, we got a brilliancy. Unfortunately, that doesn't really do anything for me because it's the same brilliancy every time. So, when you see this line, I mean, you're going to get the same brilliancy. So it's not anything that after you do it, 3, 4, 5 times, it's like, oh yeah, of course, we know that's a brilliancy, that sacrifice on H3. But okay, so let's check this out. Finally, a somewhat of a normal Tartakower. Out of all the lines in the Caro-Kann, every single one of them, Breyer variation, exchange, Bronstein, Larson, advanced, the knight F6 lines, Queen C7, all of the lines. That one right there is my favorite. And I think you can see why. It's just so easy. And there's so many people that aren't prepared for it. So, yep. Let's get the rook to the E file. I know the computer wants to go here. No. Ignore that. That's not what we're doing. Not in the Tartakower. Knight on F8. There's no mate. A lot of times they'll have the bishop on D3 and the queen on C2 and they're eyeing this down. It just doesn't do anything. That knight is an absolute monster and a hero. Okay. All right. That's it. Picture perfect setup. They already have H3 played. And, well, it wants to, okay, so that was our one. How many inaccuracies do we have? I think we only had one. That was the one. It wanted to go ahead and do the sacrifice, but yeah, that's a very well-known brilliancy, and white's just lost. It's already minus 3.3. What did they do here? Yeah, this is a mate in 7. Yeah, rook E4. If they don't have a way to stop this move, then that's it. Yeah, so they wanted to temporarily try to stop it. We just take that. I mean, they can throw some, just throw a bunch of pieces in the way, but yeah, that was a nice one. So I hope you guys, if you've never seen that before, rewind the video and watch that one again because I've made a living off of this in my career in the Caro-Kann, and I still get 2,200 level players with this. And it's very surprising because I think this is a pretty common motif. But anyway, moving on. Game number 9, we're playing KDP 2004 from Indonesia. How about a classical? Nope. Okay, knight on c3, so there's no queen c7, pin and win. Okay. Now we could play queen c7, but and we'll go knight f6, see if we can provoke them. I'm really starting to hope that we get that line where they take on the knight, and then we slide over and play on the G file. The G file. Okay. Let's take. That's weird. I thought they were going to take with the queen. Now that's just a free pawn. I think we want the bishop to be left, so let's take with the knight. They do have a check, but we can block with the F knight. Or we could block with the queen. I feel like I want to keep the queens on the board, though. Check. Actually, no, we do have to block with the queen because of B7. How many times have we seen we have 2 central pawns and our opponent does not? All right, let's get castled. Queen C7. Knight G4. This knight is not very happy at all. Knight E4. Knight E4 could provoke F3, weakening the diagonal. Hmm. I do kind of like that. Oh, they go F4. Ooh, that was almost a big mistake. You can get out of it. Let's drop the bishop back to D6. Kind of want to play F5 and have a stonewall type structure. Don't really want them pushing this any further. That at some point. All right, let's do that. Let's keep some pressure over here. Good move. Let's defend that. They do have this move, but I kind of hope they do play that because why? I want the knight versus the bishop. To me, this is a huge positional mistake. Actually, we do need to defend that. So let's take with the knight and then put our pawns on light squares. And now this knight is going to be sitting on the very best square on the entire board. E4. Most centralized. We'll have 2 squares to check the king on. Yeah, I don't want to trade queens. Ah, okay. They want to put the bishop here and threaten mate. Yeah, I see. Okay. Well, okay. Let's don't allow that nonsense. We'll offer a trade of queens. Okay. Makes me want to push G5. G5, G4. Let's be aggressive. If they play that, then they weaken this square. Yeah, they want to bring the bishop around there. Let's hit the rook. It doesn't have a whole lot of squares to go to. Okay, we need to get the rook over here. Need to get here. So let's go. We're going to do a little zigzag. A little zigzag. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Only took us 1, 2, 3, 4 moves to get over here. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's hit the bishop. Put the rook on C4, maybe. Or actually here. Now we're threatening to win this pawn. Although I love this knight sitting there on E4. I'm not sure I even want that. This bishop's not doing anything. Our knight's a monster. Okay. Okay. I think we're happy to trade. Let's slide my king into this light square. Bring the rook back over. Oh, okay. We'll give up this. Okay, so let's protect this, then take. If they play this, that drops the C3 pawn. They play it now, we just go. And that is good game, KDP 2004. Actually, we don't need to now. We just push. Let's cut the king off, right? Very, very important. I don't have time to play my Gandalf. Just push. 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 I wonder what we should do. Push. Okay, let's give a check first. And then promote. Threatening mate. You have one check. And that's all you have. You have 2 checks. That's all you have. Yeah. Oh, man. Good game. All right, let's see how we did. 91%, so 1 inaccuracy and 1 mistake. We take those. Yeah, I mean, I actually think white played a very good game there. They put up a lot of good resistance. I feel like black kinda had advantage most of the way. Um, just had to that was a good old-fashioned grind them down kinda game with a positional edge with that knight versus the bishop. And those stonewall type structures where the pawns are locked, bishops are gonna almost always be dominated by the knight. They can hop all over the place, so all these are best moves. Yep. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't understand that. Why? Well, oh, they can't take with the queen because that drops d4. Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty big mistake there. This is minus 6/10 of a pawn, and I just lost -2. Wow. Okay, taking the knight was best. All these are best moves. Yep. At first, I thought that, and then going through the checklist, all that b7 was hanging. That's best. That's okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those kinds of moves, especially knowing that we have the dark square bishop. Okay, yeah, so it likes this little stonewall type, this little mini stonewall type structure. If we ever push g6. Okay, that was our inaccuracy. We should have said, "I sorry, I didn't mean to go through c7. I go back." Yeah, but oh, that was our mistake. Why is that a mistake? Oh, nice. Wait, what? Take. Oh, yeah. I guess I thought that was no good for some reason. Yeah, I should have taken a7. Wow, wants to give up the pawn. What's the idea here? What are you supposed to do? Oh, b6 traps the bishop. Tactics recognition, condition number 4, restricted pieces. Yes. Okay. I missed that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just octopus knight sitting here. E4. Yeah. This pawn will be picked up at some point. Oh, so it did like g5. Interesting. I thought maybe the computer might see that as being a little bit too aggressive, but it likes it. Should push F. Yeah, it gives us room for a rook to get in there. Okay. Makes some sense. But I don't know, c4, and they're able to dislodge the knight. I don't know. Leave it to old computers to say, we don't care. Three out of the 4 of our zigzag moves were just okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now we're king activity. Bring that king up the board, yeah. Yep, and now our king slides to a light square. Mm-hmm. These pieces could not be placed any better. Yeah, now we win the pawn, but we needed to play this rook move first because this is no good. I don't think that's, I mean, it's probably still okay for black. Yeah, they're still okay, still borderline winning, but no reason to give up the F pawn. Throw the rook up there, and then we can grab. Mm-hmm. Got the king off, so the king can't help, and we're pushing. All right, game number 10. Okay, game number 10, playing Sander Joan from Indonesia with the exchange or the advanced. Okay, pin and win. Yep, e6, c5. That's unusual. Okay, I think we just take that and just win a pawn. What? If they took with the queen, that just wins a pawn. So I learned this. I would say I learned this from a very good chess player when I was young. I think he was like 2 or 3,000 years old, and he said, "Don't bring your king out early." So I think probably just knight c6. Hmm. Yeah, I think we just take. We don't have the light squared bishop to pin our knight anymore. Queen b6. Um, Knight to f5 as usual. Not sure which one. If we play queen b6 and they can't defend with the bishop, that drops b2. I do like queen b6 here. Yeah. Now I think get the knight to f5. Rook c8, maybe. Yeah, let's get the rook to f5. Let's get the knight to f5. Yeah, they're having to spend some moves to undo. Okay, that drops b2 with check. Ew. This is going to hurt because now you have to block with a knight, and we have 3 attackers on d4. Yeah, this is gross. So let me hit this buzzer real quick. Yeah, let's take on d4. Nope. Go through the checklist. I want to take here. Well, is our king safe? Actually, it's not. They do have a check there. Do we have any checks? Yeah. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, this might be a 13 mover. Resignation on move 13. Ouch. Yeah, I mean, that's why you really have to pay attention to the opening. And one small mistake at a certain level, and you are completely blown off the board. That's it. Yeah, Engine's evaluating this at -5. I mean, you only have one move here. And then, yeah. All right, anyway, let's see how it did. Yeah, 95%, pretty high accuracy as expected. Not a very long game, only 13 moves. No blunders, misses, mistakes, or inaccuracies. So we'll quickly go through this. So at what point did white go wrong? Best, 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 best. Should have taken first. Yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, this is, don't bring your king out early. Bond Cloud is only for Hikaru and Magnus. Okay. Don't bring your king out early. I don't really talk about that in the fundamentals lesson, but yeah, that is no good. They just needed to suck it up and say, you know what? All right, I messed up. And I mean, they got to check here. You know, is playable for white. I mean, black's only up 6/10 of a pawn. So you bring that king out early, and that is going to be lights out. Taking knight h6. Yeah, I'm just not playing that move in this spot. I mean, normally we like to bring the bishop out and give it, and bring the bishop out and give a check, right? So that we can provoke, um, bring the queen to b6, so we can provoke b3, which allows the bishop b4 check, which we've seen several times. But the king's on a light square, so I'm not too terribly worried about putting the knight in front of the dark square bishop. So, yeah. This would have been 100% accuracy game if we had played knight h6 all 7 times and computer wanted us to play that. That's just ouch. Yeah, gotta give up the rook there. That's tough. That is tough. Can we take that? That's an inaccuracy. Yeah, it's a little greedy because, yeah, maybe our queen gets trapped in there. So you got to be very careful about going up here to b2 and taking the rook, because after, some knight moves, the queen's kind of hard for the queen to escape. But yeah, that's it. All right, 1600. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like and a comment. Literally comment on anything. Tell me what you have for breakfast this morning. It helps the algorithm. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you on the next one.